Hey everyone, welcome back to Fun English Podcast, where we explore everything related to growth, self-improvement, and overcoming the challenges that hold us back from becoming our best selves. I'm your host, John, and today's episode is one I know will hit home for so many of you out there. I'm joined by the one and only Sarah, as always.
Hi, John. I'm really excited about today's episode. I think it's going to be super impactful. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us face at some point in our lives, and that is the feeling of not being good enough. You know, that nagging thought that no matter what you do, you're not measuring up or that you don't belong. If you've ever felt like this, spoiler alert, you're not alone. And we're going to unpack where these feelings come from, why they're so pervasive, and most importantly, how to break free from them.
Exactly, Sarah, and I think it's worth noting right off the bat that this feeling of I'm not good enough doesn't just come out of nowhere. It doesn't just appear in your life for no reason. The truth is, it's something that's often learned over time. You might have grown up hearing certain things from people in your life, or perhaps it comes from an environment that made you feel like you were always expected to be something else, do something else, or look a certain way in order to be enough. But the reality is, you've been carrying around a false belief about your worth. And today, we want to help you unlearn it.
Yes, I love that you said that, John. And I think this is the perfect place to start. Understanding where this feeling of I'm not good enough comes from. Because it's important to acknowledge that it doesn't just appear overnight. It's shaped by many things: your upbringing, the people around you, and the society we live in. So much of the way we measure our worth is based on external validation, but we need to start shifting that and recognizing that our worth comes from within, not from how others see us or what we accomplish.
That's so powerful, Sarah. The world has taught us to tie our worth to external achievements. Things like getting a promotion at work, having a certain number of followers on social media, or looking a certain way. And if we fall short of these standards, whether we fail, don't reach the goals we set for ourselves, or don't live up to some expectation, we feel like we're not enough. But the problem with this mindset is that it creates this constant need to prove ourselves, and it leads to burnout, exhaustion, and eventually self-doubt.
Yes, and let's be real. This comparison game is everywhere. It's literally in our faces 24/7. Social media is a big culprit here. Think about it. How many times have you scrolled through your feed and seen someone else's life looking perfect and then thought, wow, I'm not doing enough? We look at someone's picture-perfect vacation, their new car, their promotion, or their relationship, and we think, why can't I have that? What's wrong with me? But the truth is, you're not seeing the full picture. You're not seeing the struggles, the sleepless nights, or the insecurities that come with being human. Social media has a way of showing only the highlight reel. But we have to remember that everyone has their behind the scenes.
Exactly. And what happens is we internalize those images and make them our standard. We start to measure ourselves based on someone else's journey. And that is a dangerous place to be because you're comparing apples to oranges. You don't know their struggles, their challenges, or their failures. All you see is their success. And then we begin to think we're falling short because we haven't achieved the same things by the same age or in the same way. But here's the truth. There's no one right way to live your life, and when you measure your worth based on someone else's standards, you're essentially putting yourself on a path that doesn't even align with your own values, dreams, or purpose.
Yes, and honestly, the root of this comparison isn't just social media, it's deeper. It comes from a place of fear and insecurities that are built up over time. When we feel like we're not good enough, we fear rejection, failure, or simply being left behind. And in many cases, this feeling of inadequacy stems from our upbringing. Maybe it was the way you were praised as a child, only when you achieved something, only when you got good grades, or when you performed at a certain level. Those moments conditioned you to tie your worth to those accomplishments, instead of simply recognizing your value as a person.
Right, Sarah. And for some of us, this goes even deeper. Some of us were raised with perfectionistic tendencies where love and approval were conditional based on our achievements or behavior. So naturally, as we grow older, we internalize this idea that love, success, and acceptance can only come through achieving certain things or meeting certain standards. This creates an emotional dependency on external validation. And when we don't receive that validation, it's easy to feel like we're not good enough.
Exactly. And this is why it's so important to start recognizing where these beliefs come from, so we can start breaking them down. It's a process. We need to unlearn the idea that we have to be perfect or do everything right in order to be worthy of love, respect, or success. The truth is, you are already worthy of all those things. You don't need to prove anything to anyone.
Yes, and that brings us to the first thing you can start doing today to shift out of the "I'm not good enough" mindset. Challenge your thoughts. When that feeling of "I'm not good enough" pops into your head, ask yourself, is this thought really true? Most of the time, you'll find that these thoughts are based on assumptions, not facts. You might think I'm not good enough because I didn't get that promotion, but if you dig deeper, you may realize that you're measuring your worth based on one isolated event. That doesn't define you.
Yes, and the key here is to start questioning these limiting beliefs. Are they based on facts? Are they serving you? Often they're just a story we've been telling ourselves, a story that says we need to be someone we're not in order to be enough. The truth is, you are enough right now in this moment. Your worth is not determined by any one event or by someone else's opinion.
Exactly. And another powerful tool you can use to start changing that narrative is practicing self-compassion. Sarah, you touched on this earlier, and I think it's really important to dive deeper. We tend to be our harshest critics, right? When we mess up or don't meet our own standards, we beat ourselves up. We think, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough. But practicing self-compassion is about treating yourself with kindness, the same way you would treat a friend. If your best friend failed at something, would you say, wow, you're just not good enough? Of course not. You'd offer support, encouragement, and understanding. So why don't we do that for ourselves?
I love that. Self-compassion is truly a game changer. When we practice it, we start to recognize that we're human, and being human means making mistakes, failing, and learning. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to be imperfect. In fact, it's through those imperfections that we grow. When we show ourselves the same love and understanding that we show others, we begin to shift our mindset from "I'm not good enough" to "I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough."
Absolutely, and let's talk about another thing that I think is really crucial when you're feeling like you're not good enough. Stop measuring yourself by other people's timelines. So many people get caught up in thinking that they should be somewhere by a certain age or by a certain point in their lives. Whether it's getting married, owning a home, or having a certain job title, these timelines are arbitrary. Everyone's journey is different. Just because someone else reached a milestone by a certain age doesn't mean you should have too. Your journey is unique and you're right where you need to be.
Exactly. So many of us set these timelines in our minds and then judge ourselves when we don't hit those markers. But what's important to realize is that there is no deadline for success, happiness, or fulfillment. Life isn't a race, it's a journey, and as long as you keep moving forward, you're on the right track.
And one last thing I want to mention is curating your environment. This includes your social circle, your work environment, and what you consume online. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity or people who make you feel bad about yourself, it will only reinforce that feeling of, I'm not good enough. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, support your growth, and make you feel empowered. And when it comes to your online space, follow accounts, podcasts, and books that inspire you and help you feel better about who you are. You can choose to be around positivity, and that makes a world of difference in how you see yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. Your environment is key to your mindset. The more you surround yourself with positivity, the more you'll start to believe in your own worth. And the more you choose to protect your peace, the more you'll realize just how much you are good enough.
So, to wrap this all up, feeling like you're not good enough is something that almost everyone struggles with at some point. But it's a feeling you can overcome. You don't have to live in that mindset. Start by challenging your thoughts, practicing self-compassion, letting go of comparison, and embracing your unique journey.
And remember, you are inherently worthy. Your value doesn't depend on your accomplishments or anyone else's opinion of you. You are enough, just as you are. So, let go of the need to prove yourself and start living from a place of self-love and self-acceptance.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope this episode helps you see just how much you are enough, and that it encourages you to embrace your worth. If you loved today's conversation, please share it with someone who might need to hear this. And, if you haven't already, leave us a review and subscribe. We want to continue bringing you episodes that help you grow and become the best version of yourself.
Thanks again for listening, everyone. We'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, remember, you are enough. Keep going, keep growing, and keep shining.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Honestly, it means the world to me that you took the time to be here. I work hard every day to create content that you'll enjoy, and knowing that even one person is watching gives me so much motivation. I promise no matter what, even if I only have one viewer, I'll keep going and do my best to make videos worth watching. Your support means everything to me, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. See you in the next one.